DrayZera Uncensored with our co-host Jack E. Hyde. Yo! Welcome again to another episode of DrayZera Uncensored, and we have got, via different communication means, as Jack's phone has jacked off, Mr. Professional Wrestler himself, the masked wonder of the world, Jack E. Hyde. How are you today, man?
I'm cool, man. I'm tired as shit. I stayed awake playing video games till 3 o'clock, but I'm happy I did.
Is it Assassin's Creed by any chance?
No, that's Star Wars.
Oh, really? Is that the new game, the latest game that came out?
I really like it, but it's ripped off Tomb Raider so much.
Really? How so?
That's basically Tomb Raider with lightsabers.
Wow. So
Yeah.
are you calling whoever created the game? Are you calling them out?
That's good, but it's Tomb Raider. That's not. That's more Tomb Raider than like a Star Wars like layout and designs on it. But if you've played the Tomb Raider games, you'll be like, "Oh, I've played this before."
So you feel like you've been duped?
Yeah, a little bit. I
Damn.
don't know. I really enjoyed it though.
Damn. So what's the name of the game again?
I don't know. Jedi Fallen Order or something.
Oh, the Fallen Order. Hold on. Jedi
Yeah.
Fallen Order. Okay, let's have a quick look.
Played it a day. That was kind of like, oh.
Yeah, who made that game? I'll just look very quick. Oh, EA. EA copied. Wasn't Tomb Raider made by EA themselves, or was it a different company? I can't remember.
I don't have a clue. I think Tomb Raider's AAA.
Oh, yeah. Oh, fair enough. Right, anyway, guys, we just suddenly spiraled into a Star Wars discussion, but that's not what we're here for today, guys. We are here to talk about two topics. One of them we'll talk about now. So, Jack, you heard that Mike Tyson is considering coming out of retirement. This is the dumbest mother trucking thing I have heard in recent boxing history. What's your thinking behind this?
I think Mike Tyson's going to knock motherfuckers out.
Bro, did you not remember one of his last fights against some Irish... Hold on, I've got box rec on. Yeah, he faced Kevin McBride, yeah? And he lost.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, well, that was back in his last fight, right? His last two fights, right, was this, yeah? So, he fought Danny Williams in 2004 and lost. And he then faced Kevin McBride in 2005. And then he lost, so Danny Williams knocked him out. I've just got all the box rec, and I'm like, oh man. See, I'm just worried about his health because 1980s Mike Tyson, he was a motherfucker, man. I tell you.
He's 53, isn't he?
Sorry?
He's 53 now, isn't he?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, hold on, he was born in 1966, so yeah, he'll be 53. Yeah, he's 54 right now, and he's 53 now, and he'll turn 54 in a few weeks.
He's trying to be the Ric Flair of boxing.
Oh man, are you legit excited? Because he's been talking trash, saying that I'll beat Tyson Fury. I'm like, bro, oh no,
Tyson, that'd be good.
no, it'll be round one knockout.
Yeah, he's good, the other Tyson.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Tyson Fury is in his prime. I think Tyson Fury is still only like 30, 31. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's still in his early 30s.
Isn't there like an age limit on boxing, or do they not care?
Oh, I don't think there is. I think they have to just pass a fitness test.
They're like punching each other in the head and shit at like 50. I don't know.
Oh no, there was Evander Holyfield and there was Bernard Hopkins. They boxed in their 50s. But the difference is between definitely in the case of Bernard Hopkins, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'll have a quick look at box rec. So, Hopkins.
Like, he went against someone who was like his level boxing now, rather than someone who's like a machine.
I'll tell you what though, if Mike Tyson of the 80s just suddenly showed up out of nowhere and face like the current boxers of today, in my opinion, I honestly think that he'll be a match for almost anybody right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So I
yes,
think a lot of women
go on.
intimidation.
Say that again.
Like I think a lot of Mike Tyson is intimidation, whereas
Oh yeah.
because I mean, everyone's scared of him, isn't they? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I'd still be scared of Mike Tyson, mainly because he's
Yeah.
quite unstable. Do you know what I mean? Like yeah, like
That interview, Eminem looked terrified of him.
oh yeah. That was the Godzilla video, wasn't it? Yeah, man.
Even if
Go on.
what they done.
Like I'll tell you, yeah. Bernard Hopkins. Looking at his record, he's retired back in 2016. Like and he was born in 1965, so I think he's a year older. But his last fights were in 2016. He lost against Joe Smith Jr. He lost in a unanimous decision to Sergei Koliev, but he went all 12 rounds. He beat Bilbut Shumanov. He beat Karo Murat. He beat Tavoris Cloud, in like his recent fights. But by recent I mean between 2013 and 2016. But what I'm getting at is that looking at the numbers, it looked like Bernard Hopkins has literally been so consistent. He's been consistent, so even in his like later years, he still boxed at a slightly consistent level. If that makes sense. But
Yeah.
whereas literally like so 2005, yeah, put this in perspective, with Tyson's last fight, yeah, that's 15 years ago, bro.
She's harm.
Sorry.
I don't know. I can remember that interview he done after one of his fights when he's doing the I've got a broken back. My spine's broken.
It's just like, I mean, he's just standing up. That makes no sense. Do you know what I mean? Just so mad.
Yeah, I don't know if his heart's in it. His heart could be in it again now, Lou. That's one of them things. I reckon that's like wrestling. Like, longer you don't do it, you get that itch to come back. And then.
Yeah, I mean.
That's why I mean, Dark Knight Rises and shit, when Batman breaks his back. And then he's like watching it all on the telly and he's like, oh, I need to get back to Gotham.
I mean, from your perspective, I mean, you're a professional wrestler yourself. Like, are you itching to get back into the ring? Do you feel weird without the ring?
Yeah, I miss it so much.
So repeat that again.
I miss it so much.
And like to extrapolate from boxing to wrestling, it's not just the fact of like wrestling in itself. It's also getting there, the prep, the training, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And yeah, man, just mad. Like, I mean, oh man, like, all right. Hand on heart, do you think by the time he's gonna box, he'll probably be like 54, 55, right? Do you think Mike Tyson can beat anybody prominent in the heavyweight division in 2020, 21?
Not anybody. But I reckon if they get him, it depends on how they done it. If they did it like, if it's like if they're like he wants to go and one of the main people, I reckon he probably won't win. But then if he's going against somebody like when CM Punk up and they're in a and shit, well, not job, but
yeah,
like God, they ain't got much experience with it.
So you're saying that Mike Tyson needs to
Because you get some stupid ring and get knocked out by Mike Tyson. There's like someone in the world that will do that.
I get what you mean. So what you're saying is that before Mike Tyson calls out big names, he should go for chump fights. But if you can't beat chumps, then there's no point of him boxing.
Yeah, work your way up.
Yeah. So almost like starting your career again, which is kind of so mad. But I'm like, bro, like Mike Tyson's box.
He had one to see if he stirred the heart for it, and then he had the one to prove that he's still fucking Mike Tyson.
That's a fair point, man. That's a fair point. Well, I mean, guys, just comment below. Do you guys think that Mike Tyson still has it in him? Because I honestly feel man should just retire. Man should just enjoy his podcast. Man should just enjoy still being featured in music videos and still being relevant. Do you know what I mean? I'll tell you what though, I would say that if he hasn't already, he should be in like the latest Creed movies. If he hasn't done already, like just do that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He was funny in Hangover, wasn't he? You could just find a role.
Yeah, he could. All right, guys. So we have now next got an interview with Alex Vellis coming up right about now. Funk Show Brothers. And just a quick note, guys. This is the first time in podcast history that a special guest has come back for again like all my days. The first time that we interviewed Alex Vellis was 3 years ago. Back in the days when I was just a single guy without a co-host. Mad thing, innit, Jack?
Yeah.
I know, right, guys. So we're now going to head over to interview with Alex. And welcome back to DrayZera Uncensored. What a great chat with Jack, I have to say. Now we have got a returning guest. For the very first time, Moonlight Army, please welcome back Alex Vellis. Welcome.
Yo, how's it going?
I'm all good, man. How are things?
Yeah, good. I feel like I just introduced myself like someone that has a YouTube channel that talks about fitness or something.
Yo, we here to do the reps.
Alex Vellis.
Oh man, that's funny. I'll tell you what. So before we go on about the main topic of veganism, which is the main reason I brought you up here. So tell me, man, 2 questions. One, since the last time we spoke to you way back in 2017 till now, how has things been for you? And 2, tell us briefly about how the Winchester Fest is going, because we briefly had Alice Gretton on a few weeks ago, and she said it's been great. But since then, tell me all, man. Go for it.
Okay, so since we last spoke in 2017, I did a master's degree. That was pretty good. I finished it as well, which is nice. So that was cool. I have performed internationally a few times, in places in Europe.
Malta is one of the locations, wasn't it?
Pardon?
Malta and Paris, were they 2 of the locations?
Yeah. And technically places like Oxford as well, but like that sounds less exotic.
Yeah.
Been headlining shows around the country. That was quite nice. Let's see, what else have I done? I wrote 5 books.
Wow, 5 books in 3 years. That's like a book every 8 months on average, or 7 months on average.
Yeah, well, it turns out when you suddenly have a lot of free time, well, not so much free time, but like, so when I was studying for my MA, I didn't really do much. I just studied, and that was it. I just studied and wrote poems. Like my MA was in creative writing, and so I just wrote loads and loads of poems, and it got to the point in which I was just like, yo, I have loads of poems. I have like loads of poems. Like it went from having like having a surplus of like, I don't know, 30 or something. I was just like, maybe I should edit these bit. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. To being like, I suddenly have like 200.
Wow, that is a hell of workload.
Yeah, and it's just because I was just like, I need to get this done. I need to do this. Make the right things. And I'd write things and be like, it's still a poem. It's still good, but it's not for the collection that I'm working on for my MA. So I'm going to put it to one side. I'm going to carry on, and then like, yeah.
That's mad, man. That's mad. That is a lot of work ethic, man. I mean, either unintentionally or intentionally, that's some good forward planning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really worked out nicely, if I'm honest. Like that year was like a living hell. That was what year was that? 2000. That was actually 2019, I think. But I'm pretty sure it was 2019.
Wow. I mean, compared to 2020, as of when we're speaking, due to you having a whole load of workload due to Winchester Fest, I don't know. I feel that 2019 sounds like heaven to everyone in the world, eh?
Comparatively, like since we've been in lockdown, I have written 3 poems.
Wow.
Yeah, like just as a comparison. So over like what? So I'll tell you what. Since Winchester Fest started, which is on Saturday it will be 50 days.
Wow. And when this comes out, it will be 52 days. Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's absolutely, so that's what I've got. So yeah, when this comes out, it will be 52 days, and in that time, I have written 3 poems in 52 days.
wow. And also, just something that crossed my mind. So, we obviously, when this comes out, the government might announce a slight relaxation of measures. It's all been speculated. So, if that is the case, what will happen to Winchester Fest?
So we've been the top brass of Winchester Fest. Yeah, so we've been talking about what we're going to do. So we know that our Zoom renewal fee, whatever it's called, that runs out on the 18th.
Right.
As a bare minimum, we're going to keep running to the 18th, and we're going to basically see how it goes, see what the increase in see what the infection rate is, and see what unfortunately the death toll is. And if that increases during that time, then we'll probably stay on.
Right.
Because, it's the government aren't doing a great job.
I mean, statistics work for themselves. I mean, so I was talking to some mates in New Zealand, and they're laughing at us.
Yeah, like the UK and the US are used as examples of what you don't want to do during a pandemic because we did it so badly. And look at that, we're run by Tories and Republicans. How about that? I don't want to make this political.
In the DrayZera Uncensored podcast, we don't want to make things too political. However, every opinion is welcome. So, Donald Trump, if you're offended by what Alex Vellis is saying, then please come on to the DrayZera Uncensored podcast.
Yeah. So, if you weren't offended by that last thing, can I swear just once?
You can swear.
It's a big one.
Go on.
Okay, so I'm just going to throw this one out there, just into the ether of the internet, and just, maybe one day in like 50 years this will come back to bite me in the arse or whatever, but I just want to go on record and say that the Tories are cunts.
Well, man, I expected you to say that. I've seen that trending on Twitter in recent days.
Can you imagine if that was trending on Twitter, just those exact words? Hashtag the Tories are. Yeah. I'm not going to do it again. I'll drop one C-bomb.
Alright, it's all good. The co-host of the show, Jackie Hyde, he's a swear bomb, so it's fine. Anywho.
Okay, cool. That makes me feel better.
That's all good.
Winchester Fest in general has been an absolutely amazing experience. So we will have set by the time that we finish, because it turns out you can't set a world record if you're still doing it.
Right.
Yeah, so you can't, so if for example, when I looked into this on like day 30 something, yeah, if we set the world record then, we'd have broken it the following day.
Wow, that would be...
Yeah, but, so, finish on the 18th, that'll be like, 60 odd days, something like that. 60 something. Yeah, and we set a world record for the longest running continuous online poetry festival, which is cool, which is so cool.
I mean, is there like a longest continuous online festival in general, or you're not sure about that?
Not sure about in general, but that's why I was very specific when I said poetry.
Fair enough. So, moving on from poetry to veganism, so I have the exact meaning of this. Veganism is a type of vegetarian diet that excludes meat, eggs, dairy products, and all other animal-derived ingredients. Now, the reason why I said that, Alex, is because there are a percentage of people in this world that are still ignorant to veganism. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I would say. So, yeah, there are a lot of people that in the Western world that don't understand veganism, and when I specifically said the Western world because veganism is, for all intents and purposes, it is a privilege of the first world to be able to choose what your diet is.
I get what you mean, yeah.
And I think that's it's a really important distinction to make because it's a lot of the things that we do in the Western world are can only happen or can only have happened because of both colonialism and imperialism.
Yeah, British Empire, yo-yo. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, that's not something you want to cheer.
No, absolutely not. I did that ironically because obviously it affected my ancestors, so you know.
Of course, sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to imply.
No, it's fine. No, carry on. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so being able to choose a meat-free diet or a vegan diet as such is, it's a privilege. It's something that I would not have been able to do if I lived in Tasmania, for example, or Tanzania. I don't know why I chose those two places, but yeah. So I'm very lucky and very privileged. I get to choose that for myself. Now, the interesting thing is that because of that, because of its colonialist roots as such, and I use that term very sort of like interestingly, very loosely, because of its colonially colonial. God, just messed it up twice. Colonialist. I struggle saying that word. Colonialist. Yeah, because of its colonialist roots, it's not something, you see a lot of people saying, oh, well, the whole world should go vegan. It would be better for everyone. That's simply, it can't happen. It won't work like that. Veganism should be about doing your absolute best that you can do. Because the idea is that it's not about stopping harm altogether, because that's by living, by existing in the ecosystem that we've created and we monitor and so on. We cause harm. It's something that humans do, and so the idea of veganism should be about reducing the harm to the best of your ability. So you get an awful lot of vegan gatekeepers actually, which is kind of weird.
So what is a vegan gatekeeper? Can you elaborate what that means?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna have a sip of my tea.
Carry on, carry on with the sip of the tea. By the way, Moonlight Army, if you like cups of tea, please comment below what your favorite cup of tea is.
I mean, just getting to drink tea in the first place is a great example.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, tea doesn't grow in the UK. Tea doesn't really grow in like the Western world. Like, it's a product of import.
Exactly, yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, a vegan gatekeeper is, so a lot of vegans don't view me personally as vegan, because I am not vegan for animals specifically, I am vegan for the environment. Okay,
that's interesting.
Yeah, so a lot of vegans don't see me as vegan, they refer to me and people like myself that are vegan for the environment as plant-based.
Okay.
And I think when you start policing your own your own group as such, by saying, well, you're not like us because you're not doing it for the reasons that we want you to do it for, it becomes very elitist, very almost secular in what happens. So, go on, sorry.
I was just going to say, like, I know it might be a completely different world, but, pardon me, I feel that, would you say that there is probably a level of maybe elitism and maybe slight snobbery over the argument between page poets and, say, slam, or poets that don't read off paper? Like, I don't know if that can be a comparison. I don't know if that's a fair comparison.
I wouldn't so much say fair comparison, but I can give you a bit of insight into that anyway.
Yeah, go on.
I guess it can be a fair comparison if we really look at the roots of spoken word and page poetry.
Ooh, I see. I mean, I feel that we're opening a whole different world right there. If we're of
yeah, I mean, this is a whole separate conversation, but it's also something I've been discussing quite a lot recently. I talk to hundreds of poets now. But, yeah, so obviously, spoken word as we know it now was proliferated during the 40s to 60s to early 70s, I suppose.
So this is the 20th century, to clarify, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. By the beat poets.
Okay. Yeah.
To a, I guess, I want to say lesser extent, because I feel that the beat poets, the particularly famous ones, also by the Russian 60ers.
Ooh.
And the 60ers were essentially the beat poet equivalent of Soviet Russia.
Oh, you know how honestly, talking about Western world and privilege, like 3 years ago when I went to San Francisco, like I went to the Beat Poetry Museum to perform and to see all that kind of stuff and learning all that history that you've mentioned. Oh wow, that was such an honor, you know what I mean? Like to learn about all that and the history of poetry. So sorry, carry on.
Yeah, so no, that's calm. Like that was nice. Yeah, so that was sort of like, you know, spoken word as we know it now was brought forth by the beat poets and by the 60s. Yeah, and it wasn't until like I want to say 70s or 80s, can't remember off the top of my head exactly, but when I think it was Mark Smith invented slam poetry.
Ah.
Excuse me. Yes, Mark Smith invented slam poetry, and that was how to get the audience involved in poetry. So it stopped being poetry readings and started being an enjoyable adventure, an evening out, if you like, for, you know, just not for just the poets, but also for the people that want to get involved in a different capacity. So it wasn't until the early 90s, I think, in which the term spoken word was first, or spoken word artist, sorry, was first used heavily. Now, there's a lot of sort of like discussion on whether or not spoken word artist was used by the spoken word artists themselves to define themselves as something separate to the traditional elitist middle class old white man of poetry. You know, in this case we're talking about page poetry specifically.
Yeah.
But then the other side of that coin is that a term that was given to us by those same middle class old white cis straight men as a way to say you're not the same as us. We want to separate what you consider an art form and what we consider an art form because we're purists and you're not. So there's a lot of like debate over that discussion in the first place. I'm just going to shut my window because there's a whole lot of noise outside.
That's absolutely fine. I mean, to go on your point, I think that for me, I think that within page poetry versus spoken word, and then we'll get back into veganism, is that for me, I think art is art, and I think they should both be appreciated for different reasons. That makes sense, because like
100%.
Yeah.
One of the interesting things is that if you look at any other art form, literally, I was going to just choose one at random, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to let you just think about it in your own heads there, Moonlight Army. I think that's the first time I've ever said Moonlight Army as well. Well done to me.
Respect. Carry on.
Yeah, you can think of pretty much any other art form, and it still will have a right-leaning inclination within that art form. You will have artists that are, fascist to some description. You will have artists that are racist to some description, sexist, so on and so forth. Whereas spoken word as an art form is, I would argue, the most progressive art form. It is the most accepting of any other art form. You get artists from all walks of life, but not from the right wing, which is, really interesting. But whenever anyone from that sort of, anti-acceptance sort of side of art, they're ousted. They're just like, we don't want you here. You are not part of us. So I think that by this, whether we called ourselves spoken word artists or whether, I was going to say our ancestors, this is in the 90s, I was alive then, early 90s. But, whether our foreparents, if you like, in the spoken word community, called us spoken word artists, or if it was a way of, differentiating, page poets differentiating us from them, whatever happened, we've inadvertently created an incredibly accepting and, progressive community that you can be anything that you want to be, and we will support you in that, and we will give you a platform to have your own voice on.
That's awesome. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that's really interesting in itself. Because think about it, that was only 30 years ago. Yeah,
within our lifetimes as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and spoken word is now one of the, spoken word poetry or spoken word art is now one of the fastest growing and largest art forms on the planet. I mean, you go to literally any university and they have a spoken word team, if you like. Well, pretty much they have a spoken word team. Definitely any university in the UK, and I mean, obviously in the US, you have you get people that coach you. You get slam coaches that take each other to to finals and like have competitions and things like that. Same thing in Canada, same thing in, I want to say, France, same thing in a lot of European countries, to say the least.
Yeah.
I can't speak anywhere outside of Europe because I have not been to anywhere outside of Europe. I'm also including, obviously, the US because it's...
I know from my knowledge that I think New York has a slam scene, but as we've only got because of your very busy schedule, we've got probably roughly around 3 minutes left, I would say. What would you? So if we were to go back to veganism, specific. It's okay. So talk about gatekeepers and talk about what the general public needs to understand about veganism, and from your personal perspective, how has your health been affected or has improved since you've gone into veganism and the vegan lifestyle?
Okay, so that's a lot of questions to cover in 3 minutes. Right, so gatekeepers, just ignore gatekeepers. Who cares about them? Like, if you're vegetarian and you stop eating cheese, I mean, don't call yourself vegan, but like, well done for doing better, basically. Like, all it is about self-improvement and doing better for animals and doing better for the environment. That's all you need to know, really, about veganism. It's like, just be the best version of yourself that you can be whilst causing the minimal amount of harm to anything else. That's the plan. If you can, like, obviously, because I do mine for environmental reasons, if you can, obviously, try and, shop locally, don't use things that are water intensive, like cashews and almonds and so on and so forth. Probably don't eat as many avocados, if I'm honest. Like, they have a tremendous carbon footprint, that sort of thing. Just look into it. It's cool. What was the second question?
The second question is, what would you say to the general public in understanding veganism, and also for you, how have you been affected, or how has it benefited from changing your life into a vegan lifestyle? Okay,
so general public. If you start having like meat-free Mondays or dairy-free weekends or whatever, that's fantastic. Like, well done to you. No one's expecting you to turn vegan overnight. No one's expecting you to instantly just be vegetarian. No one's expecting you to stop using animal products in the instant, because that's a tall order. It's difficult to change. It's difficult to change our lives, particularly when we've been brought up being told that everything is okay all of the time. So no one wants you to do that. And the people that say, oh, well, you have to do it right now, and then share those like horrendous videos, they're just essentially trying to bully you into doing something that you're not ready to do. And all that's going to do is turn everybody's put everybody's backs up, and we're going to end up having like arguments instead of conversations. The reason I turned vegan in the first place was because someone was just like, oh, have you had a look at this? And I was like, no, I had a look at it, and I was just like, oh, this is actually quite interesting. And I was like, well, I don't really want, like, milk's kind of weird anyway, and eggs are weird, so I don't really want to eat or drink either of those. And then I was just like, well, I don't really eat that much meat anyway, so why don't I just cut it all out? And it's just having conversations and seeing if, like, if you love animals, don't kill them. Or if you love animals, don't eat them. If you love animals, don't have other people kill them so that you can eat them. Like, don't eat their produce, like, just... let animals have the stuff that they have, like lice and eggs and things. Like, it's not to be condescending, but it's not rocket science. It's super simple. Just try and be the person that you think your kids would be proud of.
That's a very interesting point. Yeah. And how long have you been vegan for now?
About 5 years.
That's quite a bit of time. And on a quick note, I know because I have a wrestling kind of knowledge, and I know like kind of a load of wrestling shizzle. I know that a lot of UK athletes and athletes in parts of the world, they're going vegan in order to improve recovery and all that kind of stuff while performing.
Oh yeah, so like on the health thing, like I have suffered from pretty much chronic insomnia like most of my life. I sleep better. I am healthier. I am stronger. So I've been working out a lot recently, and I'm healthy and strong, and the weird thing is I don't really break bones anymore. My muscles are better. My recovery time is faster. If I injure myself, then like, I don't really like scar up or anything like that. My mind is sharper. I think it's part of the thing of having a vegan lifestyle is that you start to look after yourself in other ways as well. Because as soon as you become aware that like, I don't know, Coca-Cola, for example, full of sugar, they're really, really horrible. Or Nestle, actually, better example. Nestle, really, really horrible. Uses loads of palm oil, things like that. Really horrible to people in third world countries. Really horrible to everyone. I'm totally honest. So you stop using Nestle products because of they're almost all of them contain milk or whey powder or something like that, or palm oil, whatever. But you stop using products like that, and you suddenly notice that as soon as you stop putting rubbish into your body, you notice how much healthier you are. So I don't really drink. I drink like maybe one fizzy drink a month at the moment. I don't really, I don't eat sweets and things like that. Not because like I can't, because I mean obviously there are vegan options, but just because I don't really want to. After a little while, you're just like, I don't need to be putting so much rubbish into my body. Like every meal that I eat, I cook from scratch, and I appreciate that part of my privilege. But I get that. I totally get that. But vegetables are super cheap, man. Nobody likes the taste of like raw chicken or like cooked chicken without any like spices or anything like that on it. So the thing that you enjoy is the spices and the flavors that you add to food. So why don't you strip the meat back, keep the food going, and like, I mean obviously there are still like vegan like takeaways and stuff like that, and you can still get like a kebab on a Saturday night if you wanted to. But like, why bother? Do you know what I mean?
I get what you mean. So, so that was some very awesome insight, man. So, before we go, plug yourself. Anything you want to plug, man. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So you can follow me on Twitter, which I don't use that often, but I'm trying to get better at. Instagram, which I don't have anything to take pictures of. I haven't left my house in like 3 weeks.
Selfies are a thing.
Yeah, I know, but like the lighting in my house is terrible. It's all about angles and lighting, man. Yes, I'm trying to get better at Twitter, trying to use Instagram more often, and you can definitely follow me on Facebook because I use that all the time. And all of my handles are at Alex Vellis Poet. That's AlexVellIsPoet. You'll be able to follow me. I'm also obviously running Winchester Fest. If you want to support Winchester Fest, which would be great because it'd be really, really nice to get paid. You can do that through our thanks. You can do that through our coffee stock page, whatever. It's ko-fi.com/whiskey and beards.
Right.
Just drop a few pennies in there. It'd be great.
I'll link it all in the description for all those that didn't catch that. So yeah.
I did hammer through that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did hammer it down, right, man? Well, you got to shoot off to the Winchester Fest and get a cold pint when it all blows over, because that joke has been so overused to the point that the pub that they even use for the joke closed down, so that joke becomes void.
I know that ruins our logo. That's not actually on our logo. It's just like, it's something like Winchester Fest, waiting for this to all blow over, something like that. It's just like the pub closed down. It's like, oh, cool. Well, that's useless now, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh man, that is so mad. It's so mad. Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Alex, for your time and being our first ever returning guest after 30+ episodes of the running of.
Record then, isn't it?
I mean, well, it's not as big as a record of consecutive days doing 2 to 3 live streams plus of Winchester Fest. You know what I mean?
Still, man. Be proud of what you do.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Alex, and we shall see you later.
Yeah, see you later. See you later, man.
All right, man. All the best. Bye bye. And welcome back to DrayZera Uncensored, and we have got Jack in the house, and we're going to talk about a subject that is not only making the rounds across the world, but generally in history: aliens. So, Jack, lead us through, man.
Hello. Where are we going? Where are we starting at?
Bro, start wherever you want.
The Pentagon last week released UFO footage. What Tom at Blink-182 released years ago, and everyone thought he was crazy, and it turned out he was actually telling the truth.
Wow. And when...
In case you don't know, you're Blink-182, and you ran to Blink-182. Tom left Blink-182 because he wants to hunt for aliens.
Do you think that's the weirdest reason to leave a band?
I don't know. I reckon there's weirder ones.
Wow, it's just mad. Like, so, alright, so do you think that here's a random question for you. Do you think when the Pentagon released these alien UFO footage, do you think that they did it with the timing of distracting people from this whole like isolation, or were they just legit saying, we have found evidence? What do you think, man?
That do seem a bit of a weird time to release it while there's all this other stuff going on, so it gets kind of buried in the mix of it.
Yeah, it's just really mad. Like, I find that really, really weird. I mean, wow, that is like proper weird, you know what I mean? So, I mean, alright, so, right, I think we mentioned either in last episode or the episode before, I think we're mentioning, we mention and talk about how aliens helped build the pyramids of Egypt, like a theory behind that, and you're fully behind that theory due to how like weird the whole timing is and everything, yeah?
Yeah.
So here's a question for you: if aliens do exist, like I'm just like thinking of it from a perspective of if a listener is listening right now and they're like, what are these guys talking about? What would you say if you were the person that wanted to prove people that aliens do exist? What evidence do we have apart from the Pentagon video that you just mentioned?
There's loads in there, like all them ancient sites. I can't say half of them, but some of them are like, I don't know, they're like 1,000-year-old walls and that, but they're made out of 360-ton stones. And like, how do you move them for 20 miles and then build the wall?
I mean, we didn't have any cranes or that kind of technology back then.
See, there could have even been aliens living on Earth, and then when the comet hit and took all the dinosaurs out, it took the aliens out as well. I don't know.
But then, when dinosaurs were around 65 million years ago, or 70 million years ago or so, and I thought these buildings, and were the buildings and landmarks of the world, were they there around the dinosaur or just before that?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I think it was like... When was it? Oh, I don't know.
I'm only
pretty like close to the start of it all though.
Because I'm just thinking in my head, right? You don't think logically, and I'm putting this. I don't know. I don't really think that all the dinosaurs in the world had some sort of like dinosaur WhatsApp or dinosaur like Skype, and just communicated with each other, saying, right, we need to build this here, build it there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
like even like Nazca lines and shit, like stuff like that. Why is there like 200 miles with 300 shapes and 70 figures of animals? What are like stretched out over all across like for things to see from the sky?
Yeah, I see what you mean, man. I see what you mean. It is quite an eye opener for me because like I feel that it has to be logical that there has to be life out there outside of this planet because according to what we've been taught, like we're in a galaxy. Within a galaxy, there's a universe full of galaxies. So so I'm just going to bring out an article from January 2020 from CNN. Just gonna bring it up, and yeah, I mean, all right. So tell me then, what was the first time that you thought to yourself, right, aliens did exist? Like, I feel that it must have been when you were much younger.
Yeah, I've always been in aliens and shit.
Right, I see.
I remember when
Sorry, say that again.
Signs was sick. Have you seen Signs, Mel Gibson? Was it Mel Gibson?
Sorry, Mel Gibson. Sorry, say that again. Sorry, I just realised that the link has audio and I can't play the audio. Sorry, go on.
Was Mel Gibson in Signs? I can't remember.
Mel Gibson. Oh, I have Mel Gibson. Yeah, he was in the
yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, that was a mad film.
Yeah. All right. So what other theories are there in regards to it? Because we've got all this. So to give explanation, like if for anyone that didn't watch the last episode of the episode before, explain again, Jack, while I bring up some further evidence of alien existence. The whole kind of like how everything is all aligned properly, like the 7 wonders of the world. Can you explain it to the audience, please?
What?
So you know how like you remember that map you showed me? And the whole like everything looked all perfect and circular and made and looked so perfectly aligned. Can you explain that to the audience and the listeners, man?
Basically, if you line up all the ancient sites around the world, like in a say if it's the A to Z of all of them, that would all line up in like a line around the world, but it's like a perfect line. So it's kind of like what's that used as like a map kind of thing.
I get what you mean, man. I get what you mean. Like, I mean, it is absolutely mad, and I feel that it's so interesting. I mean, what's also your theory behind do you I mean, what were we gonna say? Sorry, I just got a little tongue-tied. What's your also opinion regarding crop circles and that? Like, what do these crop circles mean?
So I don't know about them. I don't know. I've seen they are easy to like make and shit yourself.
Yeah. So you don't think that aliens made it?
I don't know. That could be, but I don't know. Some of them look fucking crazy.
Yeah. So okay. So just reading like yeah. All right. So in March 2015, a group. All right. Let me read this. In March, a video emerged featuring a Navy counter off the East Coast in 2015, with the group that released it hinting at an additional trove. Why doesn't the Pentagon care? Wondered a Washington Post op-ed. Surely the first time the newspaper of Catherine Graham was sinking a stink about aliens. The next week, President Trump seemed to announce he was creating an entirely new branch of military. We call it the Space Force. What the hell? You can be forgiven for thinking that science fiction felt very. All right, wow. So the Trump administration are really taking aliens seriously. Sorry, Jack, you were saying.
That's gonna be like a shit version of Star Wars, the Space Force. Instead of lightsabers, they're just gonna get like taser swords.
Yeah, it's absolutely mad. Like, I'm just gonna keep quoting this article here. So, do you believe in the following statement? Alien dreams have always been powered by the desire for human importance in a vast, forgetful cosmos. We want to be seen, so we know we exist. What's unusual about the alien fantasy is that, unlike religion, nationalism, or conspiracy theory, it doesn't place humans at the center of a grand story. In fact, it displaces them. Humans become, briefly, major players in a drama of almost inconceivable scale, the lasting lesson of which is, unfortunately, we're total nobodies. Wow. That's pretty deep. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That is pretty
I reckon. Have you ever heard about Nikola Tesla?
Oh, yo, I think you mentioned him. Is that the person that makes Tesla?
Nikola Tesla was basically invented like electric and shit.
Yeah.
And then all his ideas got stole off him by fucking, I think it's Thomas Edison or someone.
Oh right. Oh yeah. Really?
Yeah, he was like, he apparently had contact with aliens and shit, but he could literally make like electric out of the ground.
Oh wow.
He could make like forks in the ground to get electric out of it. Like he was smart as shit.
So you're saying that Thomas Edison is a bitch?
Yeah.
Wow. So
But,
you're saying that Thomas Edison didn't create electricity? He more stole it off Nikola Tesla, and
yeah,
wow, did not know that.
Tulsa, he built a thing called the Death Machine before, and that literally made like. Wait, I have to read it up. I can't remember.
The Death Machine. I'll bring it up as well. So wow, like we never learnt about in school. We never learnt about Nikola Tesla. Sorry, go on.
That said, Nikola Tesla claimed to have invented the death beam, which he called teleforce in the 1930s. Continued to claim up to death. Tesla explained that this invention of mine does not be used for any sort of.
Wow, that's mad. That's mad. Wow. This is mad.
That's mad when you look at all the pictures of the stuff he'd make.
Wow, like this whole death ray thing. Like we've seen like movies such as obviously Star Wars, like imply stuff like death rays, and we've seen like Bond films. We've seen like various other films that use the concept of the ray in some kind of way. That's mad.
That's like 1930s.
Bro, 1930s, bro, man. That's like wow, like that is mad.
Yeah, he could have been wireless power. So it's like how I don't know.
Wait, so you mentioned wireless power. Is that the one that is the do you think that hold on, who created the radio? Because I think the wireless, like the old device that was used for the radio, that was wireless, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I'm sure it was.
The FBI, when he died, stole all the files.
Wow. That's mad. Let's just research and wow, that's mad. Wow, that is amazing. Wow.
Yeah, we reckon he could have interstellar communications.
So you're saying that Nikola Tesla potentially found some sort of frequency to communicate with aliens?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, my God. He actually died at age 86. He lasted a long time. He was born in July 1856, and he died in 1943. He became an American citizen in 1891. Wow, that's mad.
Yeah.
And he never had a degree because he dropped out in the Austrian University of Graz University of Technology. Wow, that's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to find alien stuff.
Oh shoot! Yeah, we kind of like had a an appreciation of Nikola Tesla all of a sudden. My God.
Stuff, I can't find it.
Do you think? Oh man, right. So aliens, right? Aliens existence.
He was.
Sorry, go on.
He was well ahead of his time.
It definitely does look like it, man. Looking at the article, I have to say that's absolutely mad.
Yeah.
I'm now looking at New Scientist article. It's slightly outdated. It's 2000. Go on, I'm listening.
Wanted to be able that could read mental imagery for. Like what the fuck?
Oh, here's something interesting. So I'm reading this now, right? So in 1977. An Ohio State University radio telescope detected an unusual pulse of radiation from somewhere near the constellation Sagittarius. The 37-long signal was so startling that an astronomer monitoring the data scrolled, "Wow!" on the telescope's printout. The signal, within the band of radio frequencies where the transmissions are intentionally banned on Earth. Furthermore, the natural sources of radiation from space usually cover a wide range of frequencies. As the nearest star in that direction is 220 million light years away, either a massive astronomical event or intelligent aliens with a very powerful transmitter would have had to have created it. The signal remains unexplained. That's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the New Scientist article, like, wow, man. Like, it's just like...
The Tulsa alien one.
Oh, yeah?
I said, in 1899, during the time Telsa spent in Colorado Springs, Colorado experimenting with high-frequency electricity telegraphy, Telsa picked up peculiar, that's hard to say, radio signals on his instruments. He believed the signals were extraterrestrial in origin. The changes I noted were taking place in periodically and such a clear suggestion of number and order that they were not traceable to any cause known to me. I was familiar, of course, with such electrical disturbances as are produced at the start of the Northern Lights, easier to say, and currents, and I was sure as I could be that any of these variations were due to none of these causes, Telsa wrote.
Oh, that's
The
interesting.
feeling constantly growing for me that I had been first to hear of beings of another planet.
Wow, that is amazing. That's incredible. So, this is something that's really stuck in me while listening to all this. Do you think, Jack, in our lifetime, do you think we'll see aliens in front of us?
So I reckon we could have already, and it's just kind of hidden.
Okay,
Like-
can you elaborate?
Like, say, I don't know, say if like they are aliens and they come from other planets and that, they've probably got the technology to be able to change to look like us and shit.
Oh yeah, that's a very plausible theory. And also, but here's another thing that I want to ask, like, linked to what you... Sorry, go on. Sorry, go on.
Like, what if all the smart people and shit get taken by fucking aliens? They're like, yeah, you fucking pass the test.
Wow, that's mad. That's very fascinating, because here's something that makes me think that that's a very mad theory. So, right, but it can be plausible. So, sorry?
Have you heard of Bob Lazar?
No. Do tell me.
Bob Lazar. He worked in Area 51.
Oh, yeah?
He left Area 51 and he told them about all the fucking UFOs and shit there.
Oh, wow.
He's the one who basically released all the information about it.
That's absolutely crazy. I was just thinking
Yeah.
I was just thinking
It was hard.
Sorry, go on.
He was hired in the 1980s to reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology.
Wow. That's mad.
Yeah.
That's absolutely mad. That is crazy. So here's something that just struck at me. So if these aliens are disguised as humans, right? Wouldn't if they were not detected, how would they have not been detected? Because the only theory I have is if aliens travel beyond the speed of light or at the speed of light, something like that, then they can't be detected. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So, do you think that that could be plausible, that aliens could be traveling in some sort of time travel, or do you think that time travel doesn't exist?
I think time travel exists. I think it's possible.
But then...
You just gotta...
Yeah, go on.
You gotta just... time, haven't you? You just gotta break the speed of light.
I mean, that's the interesting thing, because I don't know if... I really don't know if... I'd be scared of time travel, man. Would you be scared of time travel because of the butterfly effect?
I don't know. It depends how they done it. Like, if that was yeah, I don't know, really.
Like, let's throw an example, yeah?
So then it's just, like, always in time.
Like, if time travel did exist, we can go back a few years. Now, this is... What I'm about to say is not proven, but is a theory, okay? Please do not shoot the messenger what I'm about to say. So if we went back in time a few years, there's been apparent links between this laboratory in Wuhan and this other lab in America. If we stop that relationship, right, then potentially, this is completely theoretical, right? Because there's been the coronavirus from bats and all that kind of stuff. This is just me completely theorizing. You're saying that we could have potentially stopped all the corona, but then that might make a knock-on effect. Like, I'm just thinking about mad scenarios, like, I don't know, random aliens go back in time and, I don't know, like, maybe not meet my mum and dad, random aliens, like, abducting Alec, the owner of DOA Wrestling, to not have do you know what I mean? Like, it's just so mad.
Yeah. Have you seen the source code?
Oh, bro, I really want to see source code, but I haven't seen it. Tell me more.
That's good. that's about time travel and shit.
Mm.
But yeah, there's like a bomb on a train, and then he keeps going into them to try catch him, but he keeps fucking it up.
Wow, that's
And that's
mad.
basically what it means.
That's mad. So, right, okay, so, wow, that's just so mad. Right, guys, tell us, comment below if you believe in aliens or not, because for me, I feel that they exist. I feel that they exist, but they need to be a lot more bold, you know, like, show up, man, like, please, show up, man. We come in peace, or at least me and Jack do. We don't want to hurt you. We want you to be our friends. Is that right, Jack?
In Predator aliens, or if they're like pool aliens.
Oh man, right, guys, we could talk about this all day, but I feel that if we carried on, then I think we would be talking on this podcast for 2 days straight. So Jack, that has been a mad ting podcast, man. So tell us all your socials.
Jackie Hyde.
Oh yeah, Jackie Hyde on Instagram and Facebook, yeah.
Find me.
And of course, as every episode that we do, we also link your favourite website, Plenty of Fish.
Yeah, I haven't used it in months now.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, there's not really much in-person dating you can do as of recording. I mean, mind you, here's a random thing that we can end on. Like, when this comes out, we might have some restrictions lifted, but I don't think it'll be like a big amount. What do you think, just very quickly?
I think that would be alright if you could, like, see, like, say if you could go see your friends, like, in their house if you're not ill. But then, I don't think they should be opening pubs and fucking shops and shit, like, properly again yet.
That's a fair point, Right, guys, my name is DrayZera from DrayZera Uncensored. Please check out all the links below in the description. Feel free to subscribe to DrayZera. And this is...
Jackie Hyde. And I lifted a mattress up the stairs this morning.
And what were you drinking throughout this podcast?
Fruit shoot.
Hell yeah. Fruit shoot, summer fruits, baby. We are hardcore in our age.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. We shall see you later and goodbye. Bye-bye. See you later, guys.
Bye.